This is David Comfort from Democracy Action Network Live. You know, I understand why many Americans feel like the system isn't working for them anymore. They were promised the American dream. Go to school, work hard, and you'll have a secure middle-class life with a good retirement. But for millions, that dream never materialized, leaving them bitter and searching for someone to blame. So who's really to blame? When Donald Trump ran for president in 2016, he positioned himself as the champion of the forgotten American worker. He made big promises about revitalizing manufacturing, raising wages, and restoring the middle class. But let's look at what actually happened. During Trump's first term, his administration changed overtime rules that made more than 8 million workers ineligible for overtime pay. That's over $1 billion per year in lost wages that should have been in workers' pockets. For the average American, this meant working extra hours without the additional compensation they deserved. Trump's anti-worker agenda extended to organized labor as well. His administration stacked the National Labor Relations Board with anti-union appointees who consistently sided with employers in contract disputes. This made it harder for workers to organize and collectively bargain for better wages and conditions. During a conversation with Elon Musk in 2023, Trump even stated that striking workers should be fired. Think about that for a second. This is all part of a strategy we've seen before. In the 1970s, Republican billionaires created institutions like the Heritage Foundation and propped up figures who implemented policies that destroyed the middle class and exploded the national debt. They paired this with culture wars rooted in class, race, gender, and religion, and waged a war on journalism, because they knew none of this would stick with a well-informed electorate. We're already seeing the impact of Trump's new economic policies. Those tariffs he's imposing on Canada, Mexico, and China. The typical American family could face higher annual costs of $1,600 to $2,000 because of them. Despite Trump claiming other countries will pay these tariffs, they are really taxes by another name, taxes on American consumers. You've probably noticed gas prices jumping up to 40 cents per gallon in some regions just days after tariff announcements, and prices for groceries, electronics, and automobiles are expected to rise even further as businesses pass these costs along to you. Trump and his officials are now preparing Americans for what they call a little disturbance, a period of transition, or a detox period. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is talking about a necessary detox period as the economy shifts. Trump himself wouldn't rule out a recession in a recent interview, saying, "There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big." His Commerce Secretary went even further, saying this plan would be worth pursuing even if it led to an initial recession. And while they're claiming this short-term pain will lead to long-term gain, economists disagree. Studies of Trump's first-term tariffs found they actually reduced our GDP. And historically, tariff increases like these have consistently led to reduced growth and higher unemployment. Instead of creating jobs, economists predict these new tariffs could cost approximately 100,000 American jobs, including 20,000 in the aluminum sector alone. On top of all this, we can expect Trump to fire Biden's pro-worker appointees, overhaul federal overtime rules so fewer workers qualify for overtime pay, further limit gig economy workers' rights, loosen workplace health and safety protections even more, and conduct aggressive immigration raids that create a climate of fear, allowing employers to exploit vulnerable workers. The truth is simple. It's cheaper to feed you junk news and misinformation than it is to feed you and your family. After years of this strategy, millions of hungry, misinformed citizens now look at immigrants, homeless veterans, and federal employees as if they're the enemy, all while Republican leaders and their billionaire donors live out their distorted version of the American dream, paid for with the wealth generated by the American working class. The disconnect between Trump's pro-worker rhetoric and his anti-worker policies is one of the most concerning aspects of his approach to governance. Financial markets have already responded negatively to this erratic approach. U.S. stocks experienced significant declines, with the Nasdaq and S&P 500 seeing their largest single-day falls since September 2022. Consumer confidence has dropped by the largest amount since August 2021. We need to look beyond the catchy slogans and simple promises to see who truly benefits from these economic policies, because right now it's not the American worker. This is David Comfort from Democracy Action Network. Until next time, peace.